here to talk about pets, pet nutrition, and wellness, anything that can help our fur children live a longer, vibrant, and happier lives.
All right.
Yeah. Welcome to Vital Pet
Vital
Life
Pet Life.
Podcast.
Hey everyone, this is Dr. Amber, your official veterinarian at Vital Pet Life.
And this is Donnie, your chief treat lady of Vital Pet Life.
So last week we talked about my passion for animals that led me to become a veterinarian.
Yeah, and how you pivoted to become a vet writer, weekend vaccine warrior, and a vital member of VPL while you give advice across social media channels.
Well, enough about me. Let's dive into this month's special guests. Every fur mom. Happy Fur Moms Day.
Happy Fur Moms Day.
So Donnie, what's it like to be a fur mom to Tuxedo?
It's rewarding, exhausting, but overall loving. I feel like it's an honor to be Tuxie's mom and caretaker.
So what's your favorite thing about Tuxedo?
Well, Tuxie's such a character. He is very affectionate, but at the same time, like Kyle always tells me it's so weird because Tuxie really wanted to be close to me all the time. But the moment that we go to bed, he sleeps with us, but he tries to sleep as far away from me. It's so weird, but I think it's because he doesn't want me to touch his body because I think that's the time that when he's sleeping, I get to check if there's like bumps, if there's some scabs, and he doesn't really like that.
Oh,
But yeah, he's such a baby. Like I love him to pieces. He really makes me happy.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, he's super cute. I hope to meet him someday.
Oh, yes. The goal is to reach 20. So he's 10 now. So definitely you'll meet him. Okay, so someone's joining today, their team of Vital Pet Life, like another fur mom. So she's got both dogs and cats, which is a little bit overwhelming for me because she has 8 dogs and 5 cats. I wonder if both animals get along. So, we can basically ask her all these questions. So,
Absolutely. Without further ado, let's welcome Jasmin, our possum fur mom of 8 dogs and 5 cats.
hi, Jasmine. How are you doing?
Hey everyone, thanks for inviting me here. This is the first time. Doing good so far. The dogs are not making any noises right now, so you
I
won't hear
know.
them in the background.
Surprising.
Yeah.
Surprisingly.
And it's morning time here already, so usually they're really noisy at this time of the day, but I'm surprised. Maybe they knew about this podcast
Probably.
guesting, so they're
Probably.
staying quiet.
Yeah, I think they know that you'll be talking about them. But
Yeah.
we'll be discussing about how commitment or responsibilities of being a dog parent, being a pet parent, or even like a cat parent, or like we call it fur parents. There's a lot of commitment, responsibility towards it. Dr. Amber, you were also a dog parent or a pet parent some point. Now you don't have one, but you had like years of experience of having dogs or animals in your care. What do you think about the things that somebody has to think of before deciding to be a dog or a cat parent or an animal or a fur parent?
Yeah. I think about is Portugal just turned 30 years old.
Mhm.
So I think getting a pet, especially a puppy or a kitten, like you could have a 20-year commitment with this pet, thinking ahead into the future and saying, gosh, am I willing to put 20 years of care? So that's one. Also, Jasmin, I want to ask, how do you keep everybody getting along?
Exactly.
Well,
Especially in the mixed dogs and cats. I mean, I've seen lots of dogs and cat families that are friends. So how's the situation in your house?
Well, the first time I adopted a cat, I had 2 dogs already. One I adopted from the streets. He's a mixed breed, so I think in the US you call them mutts.
Mhm.
And the other one is a
Mhm.
pure breed beagle. So when
Okay.
I brought home like a tiny little kitten that I found on the streets, I introduced the kitten to them like I had them smell it first.
Oh.
But of course I'm still on guard just to make sure they don't hurt it or, bite or anything.
Yeah.
They would smell it until they get along. At first, they were trying to play with it, but it's so little. So I just make sure that every time they attempt to do something, I'm there. I'm there to make sure that I'm guarding it, it's safe and all that stuff. Until they just pretty much, I think after a week or so, they all got along together. They sleep together, they cuddle, and
Really?
it's
Aw.
yeah, they cuddle together. Like all of
Oh.
my dogs, 8 dogs and 4 of the cats, they all sleep in the same bed as in my bed,
Oh.
actually, because I work here at nighttime.
Oh
So they're
my God.
using the bed at nighttime here. And on daytime, it's my turn to sleep.
Oh my God. It's so funny.
They
But
all
You'll
cuddle.
have to send us a picture of your big pile of dogs and cats on your bed. I'd love to
yeah,
see it.
I want to
Sure.
see it
There's
too.
this one funny moment where one of the kittens was trying to drink milk from one of the dogs. It's really funny. I think I sent it to the team. I'm gonna send it to you, Dr. Amber.
Oh,
That's
funny.
so funny. Oh my God. Yeah, I mean, I totally understand. Not a lot of people really think about the commitment of getting a dog. This knowing where like most kids, right, that basically wanted a dog for Christmas, but parents maybe needs to educate the child that it might take like another 15 to 20 years of commitment when you take care or you bring in a pet. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's pretty crazy. There also needs love and attention.
Yeah.
It's not something that you can just play, but responsibility of making sure that it gets to be fed. They basically try to your they ask for your support. I mean, they look up to you for support or yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you
So
can't just put them in a backyard and think they're going to be happy with that. They
yeah.
need, I mean, dogs and cats domesticated they need people. They need that love and that care
Mm-hmm.
beyond just filling up the food and water dish.
Yeah. I mean, other than that too, it goes through stages. You get a cute puppy, they became after few, or was it 6 years that, or 7 years that they basically become a senior dog. And at some
Mm-hmm.
point too, it needs additional care. And if you're lucky, your dog's healthy, you don't get to have a lot of issues. But most dogs, like either a pet is basically healthy, there's always this underlying like, oh, he's allergic to this, allergic to that. So there's a lot of
Mm.
thinking and thoughts to, getting like an animal in your
Yeah.
household. But
Yeah.
again, it takes a lot of courage. I mean, it changes dynamic of the household, but yeah, it takes a lot of courage and responsibility. And again, I also think about like financial planning too, because like
Yeah.
vet bills are pretty expensive. Like the cost of having one dog, once you have a pet, like you have to think about food, the supplies, the leash, the toys, like
Mhm.
vaccines, all this stuff are not cheap.
Right. And
Yeah.
often, I don't know, in practice, this was kind of a joke, but I think it seemed to hold true a lot of times. Like the free dog that you get is the most expensive one.
Yeah.
Oh
you know,
yeah, yeah.
my free dog was my grandpa's dog that he got older. He didn't want her anymore. And so I took her when I was in vet school. She ended up having like eating rocks twice. So she needed surgery twice within
Oh,
six
oh my
weeks.
God.
Dentals. She wasn't spayed when I
Oh,
got her. Like there's just this kind of this coincidence. Like the free dogs are always the most expensive ones, it seems like. But yeah,
but
so
that's a funny analogy though, because I
have you
also
ever
think
heard of that?
I haven't, but
Yeah.
I'm thinking about it. Oh yeah, totally. It's free. And then they might have some issues with it. Get what I mean? Like, especially if a dog comes from a breeder too.
Yep.
Like, I mean, there's a lot of, I know here in the US, there are other people that do breeds, but some of them are like most of the time it's a good breeding. They have like breeding practices and all those stuff. But I
Mhm.
bet like some people too have really bad, horrific breeding practices.
Oh,
Um,
absolutely. I mean, I
yeah.
saw a lot of puppies in my career purebred puppies that came in that were obviously like they had genetic problems. And the owner would say, oh, the breeder gave me a big discount on this dog. And I just thought, oh my goodness. I mean, poor little thing, but like this dog is going to need a lot of care if it even
Right.
survives. I mean, there were a few that I was like,
Yeah.
oh, this condition is like, you didn't really understand what you were taking on here just to get a purebred dog, but not one that is healthy.
Exactly. Yeah. Like side note, like I just saw one rescue that I don't know for I think one state, like I'm not really sure about the news, but I think they abolished breeding facilities, or I think there's a law that they stop breeding, that
Oh, wow.
they need to rescue all these animals that are in horrific condition. What can the breeder do? Like there's like 30 of them. And it was really sad seeing the pictures, and some of it too were being auctioned.
Hmm.
So I'm like, oh my God, like I don't understand why people, I always say the mutts, like
Mhm.
I know a lot of people, like I just saw the Westminster show. There's a lot of specific qualities of an animal or a dog or a pet to be part of the show. If you really think about it, like not a lot of people are as responsible as these owners, right? And I think
Yeah.
it's just basically, I don't know, it's just really sad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Jasmine, for the 8 dogs, like, I wonder how can you basically train them? Training Tuxedo alone is a little hard for me because, especially when all dogs have different personalities, but how can you even like train them to do something or to obey, right? Like,
Yeah, so I make sure that I'm always around. I do have a nanny for those 8 dogs and cats, but
that's
I
good.
always make sure that I am around and I teach the nanny what to teach them to stop whenever they're playing loudly and hurting each other. When you tell them to stop, they would immediately stop as long as it's me who's telling them, or my partner, my fiance also knows how to train them. Sometimes they're really picky on who to listen to, especially if it's the nanny or it's my sister who's
Mhm.
telling them, they won't really obey them. So, because what I do is I'm with them all the time. Nighttime, they're sleeping here. Of course, there are instances that one of the puppies will pee on the bed or on the
Oh,
couch, and then I tap their noses and tell them no. So the word no means a lot to them. Whenever they hear them, they stop whatever they're doing. And being there always really helps because you can monitor what they're doing. So at daytime, before I go to sleep, because I sleep here at the daytime, they would all go downstairs. They will eat their breakfast, do their routine stuff. We'll walk them. I'm holding 3, and then 3 for my partner, and then 2 with my sister, walking the dogs each morning after work. And then we'll give them showers and then treats. We'll give them, most likely they would learn a lot if you give them a reward, like some kind of a treat if they do something good.
mhm.
And if it's something bad, when you raise your voice at them, they would like get nervous and they would know that they did something wrong so that they won't do it again. Getting them to learn stuff is, I think the key is being with them and having lots of treats to give
Mm.
them.
Well,
Yeah.
you're very lucky that you get to work from home and spend time with your dogs
Yes.
and cats, because like not a lot of people have that luxury. Yeah. Like,
Yes, totally.
yeah, it's tough.
Yeah. And whenever, I'm not sure if you feel this too, Donnie or Dr. Amber, whenever I go out to travel or something, more than like 2 hours, I'm already thinking of them if
Oh yeah,
like
all the
I want to
time.
go home.
All the
Yeah.
time. Yeah. I feel guilty leaving tuxedo even if I'm just out for like 45 minutes to do my exercise. But it took like since we moved to our new place, I think it took me a long time to really like leave him behind on his own. Like I always tell Kyle, make sure that you're home and I'm gonna exercise. Taxi should know that you're around. But I think it took us like maybe 6 months till we were comfortable to let him be on his own, and Kyle and I can leave and have dinner or like, quick errand run.
I have a question.
What is it?
So, out of the dogs and cats, do you have like a certain one of them or a couple of them that are the boss? Anytime I see like a group of
Yeah.
family animals, I wonder who's the boss in the house. So, in your house, who's the boss?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do have one alpha dog. Her name is Lord Voldemort.
Cute.
She's We adopted her 7 years ago. She's my first dog. So she's the oldest and
Okay.
everyone looks up to her. She's tough, but really, really loving when you get to know her. Whenever she eats, so there are 8 dog food bowls laying around our house with dog food on it. So when you place dog food in it, they would wait for them, or they would wait for her to
To eat.
finish eating first, and
Oh,
then they
wow.
will eat
Wow.
next. That's how they
Wow.
work. I didn't train them that, but I don't know. They would just watch her eat, and then after she eats, they'll eat their food.
Wow.
Maybe she's giving them like subliminal dog messages, like,
I
I'm the
bet.
boss here. I'm going to eat first.
I'm the first one that arrived in this house. Don't you? Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
kind of like
no.
right now, she's the only one here in the room. Everyone's downstairs playing, and just because she wants to sleep more.
Oh my God, it's so funny.
So, how do you? I'm always wondering about this too, because when I had two dogs, I had them on different diets. One of my dogs had food allergies, so I had to,
Mm-hmm.
feed one in the bathroom and feed one in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, the one with food allergies was food aggressive toward
Oh
dogs.
wow.
And so, how do you feed 8 dogs and 5 cats?
Together, yeah. Without even fighting. Like,
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, that's
for the cats, their food bowls are upstairs where the dog can reach it, because usually they would grab the cat's food. So all of the cats are eating upstairs, and my dogs are eating downstairs where their food bowls are located. So they eat separately.
Okay.
that's good that you
Yeah.
have to segregate them. Because like I've
Yeah.
seen a lot of like problems with food aggression. We have an incident with my sister-in-law's dog that was rescued, and she's aggressive when it comes to food. She basically punctured one of Tuxie's like ears, and it
Oh,
was pretty
oh,
stressful.
yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, it was really sad because our little tuxedo, he's FOMO, but he never really bites. Like he's always
Oh,
the one that gets like bitten.
Oh
So
no.
it was really scary and stressful. But yeah, that's good. Like that you were able to manage like 8 dogs eating together without fighting.
yeah. Not only fighting, but I also think about, dogs that just want to eat all day, dogs and cats, versus
Yeah.
dogs that are okay just kind of grazing or eating meals.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Well,
how do you keep them all at a normal body weight? Like
what's
Exactly.
monitor
even
monitor what everybody's eating so that they don't get obese
Yeah.
or too skinny, because maybe the less outgoing one, the more shy ones who are going to
Oh,
sit back and wait for someone
yeah.
else to eat.
Well,
Like,
to add to Dr. Amber's question to Jasmine, I know too, like some dogs, like they allow the alpha dog to just eat their food too. So, I mean,
yeah.
how do you manage to do that? Making sure that each of them are really getting the right nutrients without the
yeah.
other. Yeah, like, I mean, wow, that I've seen that happen.
That's true. And that's why we have someone watching them. Yeah, while they eat, someone's there to watch them. If the alpha dogs eats on any other dog food, they tell us because she's not obeying anyone except us. So they call out to us and tell us what's happening. That's when we'll let her know that that's wrong, to stop that. She always obeys us. What's funnier is that each of the cats, they also eat dog food because it's just lying around there. If they didn't
Oh,
finish their food, so there will be like few food left, cats would actually eat the dog food. I'm not sure why they're doing that, but the dogs don't mind.
Hmm.
Even the alpha dog,
oh.
she doesn't mind. She just let the cat eat it.
I wonder if it's more of like a pack mentality, Dr. Amber, like because they live in one home and
Yeah.
they see each other grow together. Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, it really is.
Oh,
I mean, I've had plenty of seen fighting, bite wounds, and stuff
yeah.
within families, but also one little animal that's really skinny and the other one's super chubby, and
Yeah.
I
and
mean, I
so
have,
to have everybody get along and everybody get what they need, that just shows, what a great job you're doing, Jasmine,
yeah,
and how
Thank
diligent
you.
you are
yeah.
about that.
And I think one key thing too is that like your member in the family, like I think in your household, are there to help out too, other than
Yes.
your dog nanny. Because I think that's very important. I do have experience with that with my dogs overseas. Like I have 5 dogs and then I see them fight. But it was really hard to give out a rule when not everybody is in the same page. If it's just the nanny or me implementing it, and then the other members of the family doesn't even want to listen. So
Mhm.
it's so hard to give training. And
Yeah.
I'm one of those pet parent that had dog fight. One dog was a little bit of, I don't know, sometimes like Kyle and I calls him like, is he like retarded or something like I don't know, but some dogs, some of them, and with my dog, he just doesn't really understand, I think, the command or like the hierarchy. He doesn't have an awareness that he's not supposed to do that. And then the other dogs will just gang up on him for some reason.
Mm.
I have no idea why. It's just so weird. So
Oh.
I think it's his just energy, or I have no idea. It's still a mystery to me. I could just like say maybe he doesn't have the awareness of the energy that was given to the other animals in the pack. But yeah, it's really amazing that you can keep the 8 dogs and 5 cats in order, Jasmine.
Yeah.
Congrats.
I actually had to foster one really aggressive dog. So whenever you touch his food, he becomes aggressive and bites people, not only dogs, but also his owner.
Oh,
One time he mauled the mother of his owner,
oh
like
wow.
Oh,
literally mauled her, like in the
scary.
arms,
Oh
feet,
wow.
and everything. And
Mm.
I had to
Oh,
foster him, and he was fine. I was touching his food. Actually, he wasn't eating at first because I think he was really depressed of being rehomed.
Mhm.
So what I did was I touched the food, put it in my palm, and then he started eating. And I'm not sure. I told him I don't see anything wrong with your dog. I think he's okay. So they took him back, and then he bit them again.
wow.
They gave him back to me, and I told them, if you can control him, I'll find him like a really good fur family that can train him. So luckily I found someone who was willing to train him, and he didn't have any problem at all with anyone touching his food. He's in a happy home now. So I'm not sure what's wrong with their household. They said they didn't hurt him because they're all afraid of him. So maybe that's also one key to stop
Yeah.
for the dog to be not that aggressive, is to not be afraid of them, because I know they can smell your fear.
Yeah.
And
Their energy, they basically communicate or feels our
yeah,
energy. Yeah. I don't
so
know.
it's like he's thinking he has the upper hand so he can do anything. But with us, when I got him, he spent time with all 8 dogs, and he's kind of scared because that's 8 dogs. He can't fight that. So maybe
Yeah.
that's it. So
And
and
plus he's the
he
newbie.
yeah, he knew we're not afraid of him. So he's not really that aggressive with us. And
Wow.
plus we found him like a really, really good family that took care of him now. They've been taking care of him now, right now. So it's
That's
nice.
good.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Well, this has been a great conversation, Dr. Amber. Any advice or any last words to every like for mom or for parent, especially those people that are thinking whether they're gonna take on a new pet or animal in their home?
Yeah, I mean, we kind of covered like the lifelong commitment, covered some of the expenses that go along with having a pet. Also, I'd really, really stress like doing your research about particular breeds before you
Mhm.
get them. I mean, just for example, like if you want to be a couch potato, that's fine, but maybe don't get a herding breed or a
yeah.
high energy breed that requires a lot of exercise, or like a Saint Bernard is probably not going to do well in an apartment. I think I've seen a lot of problems with people, having an idea of wanting a certain type of dog, but realizing their needs and their behavior is not going to fit their lifestyle. So make sure you know what you're getting into before you get that particular breed.
Exactly. Yeah. Perfect. And to Jasmin, thank you so much for joining our conversation. And you're the perfect fur mom. 8 dogs, 5 cats. It's amazing.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Jasmin. Don't forget to follow our channel for more talk about pets, tips, advice, and fun stuff.
Happiness, vibrance, and longevity for our fur babies and our planet.
This is Dr. Amber, your official veterinarian at Vital Pet Life.
Once again, thank you for tuning in. This is Donnie, your chief treat lady at Vital Pet Life. Happy Fur Moms Day!
And Mother's Day!
Keep blossoming your love. You guys are all awesome. Until next time. Bye! Can you guys hear that?
Was the tux?
Tuxie, yeah.
That was actually kind of a perfect little time for a bark at the end.
Yeah, I know.